Okay, in continuing the concepts of factors and multiples, we'll treat yet another concept aspect of this course, and that has to do with prime factors. We started this course by saying that our concern would be on natural numbers, whole numbers that are positive, because it presents a platform for us to understand in its simplest form where we are trying to head to. Now, we've talked about factors. What is a factor? We said that a factor is what? A whole number. A factor is a whole number such that when it divides another number, what you get is another whole number. A factor is such a number that when it divides another number, what you get is another whole number. Some books will say exactly, but I usually prefer to use the word divide and get another whole number. So if I had 6, 6 would be what? 2 times 3. Is that not? Now, but we're not just looking at factors, now we're looking at prime factors. In one of my classes, I tried to introduce the concept of prime numbers. We said that a prime number has essentially 2 factors, itself and 1. So what then are prime factors? They are numbers such that when we expand a number or we describe that number in its prime, we're able to get what? Those numbers out. Let's look at this. If I have 60, for instance, 60 by one of our techniques would have been what? 1 times 60, 2 times 30, 3 times 20, 4 times 15, 6 times 10, I think 12 times 5. Is that not? Those are the possibilities you can have for 60. Now, of these numbers here, you discover that the prime numbers, the prime factors, because we are calling it factors because they are present in that number. They are numbers we can multiply or numbers that can divide a number and they are prime. So prime factors are factors that divide a number and they are prime themselves. So look at it. We're going to have 2, we're going to have 3, and we're going to have 5. So if I'm going to write out the factors of this number, if I'm going to expand this now, it will essentially be what? I'm going to have 2, I'm going to have 3, I'm going to have 5. These are the 3 numbers I'm going to have here. Now, look at 4. What will I multiply? How many 2s will I multiply to get 4? It will be 2. So it means that 2 will be multiplied twice to get 4. So I'm going to have 2, I'm going to have 3, I'm going to have 5. So that is 2 times 2, 4, times 3, 12, times 5, 60. Now, you notice that there's another method we'll be using. This is where it is looking for prime factors that this method becomes effective. Because sometimes I see students use this method, but they don't understand that there's a reason why you use this method. Now look at this. I have 60 here. 2 divide this, because this is a prime column. The number only allowed to divide here should be what? Prime numbers. So 2 divide this, I'm going to get 30. 2 divide 30, I'm going to get 15. After exhausting 2, I check if 3 can divide. 3 can go 5, and then 5, and I have 1. So what are the prime factors? So the prime factors here, prime factors will simply be what? 2, 3, and 5. We don't write a particular number twice if you are getting at the prime factor. So the prime factors will be this. But there is a build-up on that. You can be asked to write the number as product of its prime factor. So we'll be told to write the number as a product of its prime factor. So if we are told to do that, 60 will now be equal to what? I will just write out all these numbers I have here, multiplying themselves. So this is what is called the product of the prime factors. The product of the number in terms of its prime factors. The product of the number in terms of the prime factors. This is the prime factors of this number. So take note of that. You can be told to write down the prime factors of the number and you can be told to write out the number as a product of its prime factors. So take note of that as we go into the next aspect of this. So we're going into writing numbers as product of their prime factors. So how do we write numbers as the product of their prime factors? We'll take a few examples. If you go to exercise 3C of New General Mathematics, page 16, a few of the questions are given there, and we're going to test how this concept is being used. All right. So I'll just pick a few of them. I will pick question 8. I'll pick question 8. Question 8 says 105. I will pick question 11. It says 288. So those are the questions I will pick. I'll just split my board into two. For question 8, I have 105. Remember that this column is called the prime column. So the numbers you can only use here to divide is what? Prime numbers. So the factor, what you're going to get here will be factors that can divide this. So nowhere it becomes a factor, nowhere it is a number. A prime number if it's standing alone, a factor if it is doing the work of division. So remember that we have treated our first 25 prime numbers. So I'm going to write that one down here because that will help our work in this class. You should know the first 25 prime numbers in maths. Between 1 and 100, you have 25 prime numbers. So I'm going to write them. And you have 2, 3, 5, 7, 11. You have 13, 17, 19, 23, 29. You have 31, 37, 41, 43, 47. You have 53, 59, 61, 67, 71. You have 73, 79, 83, 89, 97. You should know them very well. And then at your level, you may not exceed, you may not go beyond this one. You may not go beyond this first two, but it's important that you should know all of them. So when you're testing, if the number is odd, you don't need to test 2. This number is odd, so I don't need to test 2. I know that the closest one I can do is to test 3. I also have done videos on rules of divisibility of numbers, and I'm going to forward that video. While doing this video, I'm going to attach the video series to the description so that you can go over those videos and it will help you better. It's not too early for you to know the rules governing how you divide numbers. So 3 here will give me 35. At 35, after 3, the next one that comes is 5. So I'll try what? 5. And 7 gives me 1. So the factors, 105 will simply be what? 3 times 5 times 7. So that is writing the number as a product of their prime factors. So I've done that one. Now the next one says, question 11 says 288. Now, if you look at it, this is an even number. So I'm going to be using what? 2. So 2 here, I'll have 1, 44. 2 again, cannot into 14, 72. 2 again, 3, 6. I see what I'm doing. 2 again, 1, 8. 2 again, 9. I've exhausted all the 2. So I check, what's the next one I can try? 3. I see it, it goes in an orderly manner. Students sometimes want to do it anyhow, but I will advise you, take it orderly so that your brain sees a system. 3 here will give me 1, 3. 3 again will give me 1. So if you've done it correctly, these are the factors that will multiply, the prime factors that we multiply and say 280. For want of space, I'll write it on the second line. For want of space, I'll write it on times 2 times 2 times 2. So you start writing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is a question. All right.